Hello everybody and welcome to another MX Bikes video, and today guys we have a very important special video. The top 10 tracks of 2023 here in MX Bikes. I did this last year except I did only free tracks, but this year we're going to cut it in half, so it's going to be 5 free and 5 paid. There's also going to be some honorable mentions as well, so I'm going to go over the layout of the video here in a second, but first I want to ask you guys to hit that sub button, hit that like button. This year has been absolutely incredible. We hit 50,000 subscribers, and the game has grown a lot, which was the original goal for me, was to grow this game and grow the community. So, yeah, thank you guys so much, and let's get right into the video, boys. So, the layout is going to be pretty simple. So, we're going to have 5 honorable mention tracks starting here at Schmiesville, and then we're going to go into the top 10 list. And so, from 10 to 6 will be free tracks, my top 5 favorite free tracks, and then 5 to 1 will be my top 5 favorite paid tracks, okay? Because we got to support these guys that are putting tracks up for money. I mean, I know some people disagree with it. It's kind of controversial, but these guys put a lot of work in, and bro, giving them $1 or $2 for 10, 20, 30 hours of playtime on a track, I think it's worth it, man. It's all up to you at the end of the day, but for me, it's worth it. For a lot of people, it is. So I'm gonna give them the credit that they deserve. I feel like last year it was just free tracks, and while they were great tracks that I showed off last year, I think it's gonna be good to give some guys some props that are putting in hundreds of hours into their work and are the best at what they do. So yeah, let's get right into the video, guys, starting here at the first honorable mention of 5. This is Schmiesville by Tej DZ. This was his first ever track in MX Bikes, and he did a great job here. You know, it doesn't look like much as far as quality, you know, there's not a lot of models on the track or anything like that. There's not even those markers on the side of the track, but this track just came out fun. It came out flowy, it came out schmeezy, all right, hence the name. Okay, it lived up to the name, because it's a big name to live up to, ladies and gentlemen. He lived up to it. Super fun, super easy for beginners. This will be my first honorable mention. Tej released 2 tracks this year, I believe. Big Sen MX as well. He did a great job. So for a first track, to get the scaling as good as he did on this one, I think this deserves an honorable mention, and I think he deserves some credit. So nice job, Tej. Hope you had a great year, and let's move on to the next honorable mention. All right, boys, next up we have Fort Red by Red Rider 197. We're gonna have a crazy entrance here too. Look at this. Hit the ramp. Oh my god, dude. All right, Red Rider, one of the goats at track making, one of the goats of just helping people. I know a lot of his assets are used, I'm pretty sure, on a lot of people's tracks, but he created Fort Red here, which you may recognize from a past game. Let me just get a little schmeezy double backy here. Okay, I'm mid. You might recognize this from an older game, MX vs ATV Reflex. This was Fort Dodge round 2, I'm pretty sure, or one of the Fort Dodges, and he did a great job on this. I mean, it really looks like the Reflex track, but the scaling actually works pretty well with MX Bikes. And this track, again, it's one of those tracks that a lot of newer players can get on. It's not a super hard supercross track. Super sendy, big jumps. You know, you could throw big whips, stuff like that, which people appreciate. You know, it's why tracks like Walnut and Farm 14 were so popular, is because they weren't super hard, but they allowed you to throw big whips, get on the freaking gas, have some fun, and not worry about crashing every turn, because a lot of people play this game are pretty casual players, and we're gonna have to keep that in mind, especially coming into this list as well. I kept that in mind because there's a lot of tracks I saw on the server list that I may not have played that much, but I still enjoyed, and I know a lot of other people enjoyed as well. So this was one of those tracks. I remember I did an elim on this track. That video did super well, so you know, the track helped with the content a little bit as well, but it's a super fun track. It's super nostalgic as well. That's why we love it. Okay, Red Rider did a great job. This track was released September of this year, and it already has like almost 30,000 downloads. One of the most popular tracks to come out this year. So, yeah, great job, Red Rider. And let's move on to our third honorable mention. All right, we're keeping the free tracks rolling here in the honorable mentions. And next up, we have E Street by Kells. This is a sand track. There's actually 2 tracks on here, but this was the main one that I rode the most and had a ton of fun on. Kells did a great job on this track, and he did a great job this year. He released a bunch of free tracks, and he's just killing it, bro. And all of his tracks are getting better as well. He released Summit recently as well. That was on MXB Shop. One of the best snow tracks to ever be released in this game, and he's going to be on this list again, so stay tuned. But this is an honorable mention. Didn't quite make my top 5 favorite free tracks of the year, but it was darn close, okay? Absolutely killed it. And it's not a super hard track, like you can keep it pretty wide open, but there's some tricky sections, you know, you get some E-road on it like I got here. It's kind of tough, but scaling is great. You can hop around, have some fun. Again, a track that was, you know, flooding the MXB servers. A lot of people were playing it, and you can see why, bro. You get a nice flow going on this. You understand the lines. Okay, I suck. It's a super fun track is basically what I'm saying. And if you didn't get to play this, go down in the description. I'm putting all the links to all the tracks down there. And go play it, bro. Go give it a chance. Get faster at sand tracks. I'm a big sand track guy, by the way. This is not the last sand track that we'll be seeing on this list either. So this one really scratched the itch, I'm not gonna lie. I suck, bro. Kind of forgot the lines. It's been a little bit of a while, okay? This released in August, I believe. But I know I was just grinding this thing. Like the first 2 weeks it came out. And then I moved on, because that's just kind of what happens in MX Bikes. New stuff releases, you move on, but still a banger, and didn't quite make it, but still a very great honorable mention. Good job, Kels. Alright guys, fourth honorable mention is this Arena Cross series made by Her and MX. This was 4 Arena Cross tracks that he released, and they were all paid for previously. They're all free now, but all the revenue was used to go to some privateers to help them race, pay for all that, you know, all their needs and stuff like that. It's an expensive sport, as we all know, so great he did this. Pretty inspiring as well. I think, you know, raising money is always a great thing to do in this community, so something I'd like to do at some point. I need to figure that out, but he did a great job. It's 4 tracks. You guys are newer and want to work on Arena Cross stuff. I absolutely suck at tight Supercross tracks, but if you're a newer player, I don't think this would be too hard for you. You know, you just take your time around them, have some fun, and there's 4 rounds. A lot of people may not know about this, but 4 rounds completely free. They're still on the shop, link in the description. Go download them if you want to. These whoops are absolutely insane. Shout out to Her and MX. I had to get him on here somewhere. The dude's killing it. Great track creator. And hope you had a great year, and great job. This is a great thing that you did, and people need to know about it. So yeah, let's move on to our final honorable mention. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the final honorable mention, it's another free track. This is a Supercross track by Stone Rider. This is Start Your Systems Test Track 2024 edition, because he did one last year as well, but he updated a little bit, got the 2024 scaling in here. And Stone Rider's another guy I wanted to get in this video because he definitely deserves a lot of credit. He makes all the aerial rounds for the Supercross season. He did WSX this year, released some free stuff, gave us some other types of tracks and test tracks and stuff like that. So yeah, Stone Rider deserves it, bro. He's not on the top 10 list because he's kind of held to the, you know, the standards of making those replica Supercross tracks, which they kind of lack creativity since they're just replicas. I wouldn't put them on this list, but Stone Rider regardless is a great track creator. This didn't make my top 5 free tracks. It was really close. This is an amazing Supercross track, and a lot of people are riding it, and it's been on the servers a lot recently, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe I regret it, maybe I don't. I think this could easily be someone's top 5 or one of someone's top 5 favorite free tracks of the year, but still an audible mention. Great job, Stone Rider, though. This track was released this month. A lot of these tracks on this list actually were released this month in December. It just shows you that track creating, it's leveling up, man. The quality's going up. People are starting to catch up to guys like JV and Stone Rider and stuff. So yeah, Stone Rider did a great job on this track. If you're looking to get some pro Supercross practice in, you want to ride the aerial rounds this year or try to qualify, this is a track that you should be on and practicing because it's tough, but it's the same scaling. And once you get used to it, you know, you're kind of just set for the season. And you kind of just got to clutch up in those qual sessions and then inevitably make the rounds and do good in the races. So Stone Rider, great job. Thank you again for making all of those aerial Supercross rounds. You deserve a ton of credit. I think you and JV both are the 2 of the most hardworking track creators in this game. I don't even think it's close. So thank you guys, and yeah, Stone Rider did a great job. Let's move on to the top 10 list, boys. We're going to number 10. Strap in, boys. All right, ladies and gentlemen, coming in at number 10, we have Swedish Midsummer Carnage. And this track is special for a few reasons. One, I'm pretty sure it is one of the most, if not the most downloaded track on MXB mods this year. It's not like a Bike Life track or anything like that. I'm pretty sure it might have eclipsed 30,000 downloads or somewhere close to that. I could be wrong, but I saw this track a ton this year, and a lot of people were playing it. It came out in February, early in the year, and the other reason it's special is because this is Hell Machine's first ever track in MX Bikes. Okay, I don't think he has any other track making experience in the past. I could be wrong again, but I don't think so. And the track is amazing. It's great quality. It's very simple. You know, it's not like something crazy or super rough. But it's one of those tracks, like Walnut, Farm 14, those tracks that, you know, a lot of people think are like the GOAT tracks of MX Bikes because, you know, they basically are. I mean, they're the most played. So it's very similar to that. It's good for newer players, which, you know, some track creators deserve credit for making tracks like this. They might not be the most rough, or you might not see a lot of, you know, fast guys getting on them or guys in the core community enjoying it a lot, but a lot of the newer players, this is where they started. So I think a lot of people watching this will probably agree this is one of the best tracks that came out this year, and it ranks number 5 for me on free tracks that dropped in 2023. Hell Machine is killing it and making tracks. Is going to help JV in the outdoor series this year. I can't wait to see what they cook up. But yeah, it's just a special track because it's someone's first track, and it's one of the most popular tracks of the year. Okay, it's undeniable. It is what it is. We released a part 2 of this as well, which is a backwards version, and it's just a fun track. It's flowy. I think any skill level can get on this and have some fun, but mostly for the beginner guys that want to get in the game and start learning it. So yeah, Hell Machine did a great job. This comes in at number 10. This track is obviously free. And yeah, let's move on to number 9. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and number 9 was my fourth, in my opinion, the 4th best free track that came out this year. This is the Farm MX by T-Bell. This track is located in Dade City. Not sure if it's a replica or not. Either way, this track was amazing, and had a lot of fun on this. I remember did a competitive race on this as well. I think it was the AOMX, Breaking Online Motocross Series. It was a pretty good video, and I don't know, it's just a track that was dominating the public servers at one point. A lot of people were having a lot of fun on it. You don't see it much anymore, which again is just kind of common for tracks that come out in this game. They're played a lot, and then new tracks come out, and then you just never see them again, which kind of sucks. But yeah, this track deserves credit. It comes in at number 4 for me. T-Bell, great track creator. He released Thursday Night MX as well. That track was incredible. Yeah, he did a great job this year. Honestly, he deserves a lot of credit. And this track is just super flowy. Super flowy. It's definitely not a super easy one because the jumps are pretty peaky and the landings are pretty steep, you know, which is kind of realistic, but definitely a bit hard, man. You gotta memorize it. You gotta memorize the speeds and the scaling and everything like that, but it adds a challenge that I personally enjoyed a lot. I think a lot of other people did as well. And it also just looks great. Just a good looking track. There really is no negatives to this. Kind of similar to Hell Machine's Midsummer Carnage in that it's, yeah, just pretty easy, pretty smooth, not a lot of roughness, but still provides great racing. It's fun to play. Even the beginners can hop on it. And this track also, one of the most downloaded tracks this year on MXB Mods. I'm pretty sure it's also up by the 30,000 download mark. And yeah, great track. T-Bell did a great job. Again, it's free. Comes in number 4 for me on the three track list. And I hope T-Bell keeps making tracks. I hope he keeps doing this whole thing. Can I get this last corner? I'm trying to do a lap on every track that's semi-clean. Obviously, I'm kind of mid because I haven't played this track in a minute, but do I land that? I mean, you get Schmeezy too, so, you know, it's a 2-in-1 special. Great job, T-Bell. Let's move on to number 8, boys. At number 8, boys, we have The North by JV. All right, JV. Okay, we're going to hear that name a few more times on this list. This man is insane, okay? He released, I think, the most amount of tracks this year. Maybe I'm wrong, but he did an entire MXGP season. Released some compounds, all those Supercross test tracks that deserve recognition. This guy freaking works, and he is one of the huge backbones to the community, and obviously the MXGP series is an extremely important series to this game. There's a lot of great tracks that came out of that as well, but even when he does side projects like this, he just dominates, bro. Like, this is a free track. Came out a couple weeks ago. A lot of you guys have probably seen it already in videos. I did a TikTok doing a hot lap on this track, and it got me 2.7 million views on TikTok, so maybe I'm a little biased, but I like this thing a lot, and I think a lot of people did as well. He released it for free, which not too normal from JV. Most of the stuff is paid, which, you know, it should be paid. The quality is unbelievable. And if I wasn't trying to get some other people some recognition on this list, I think JV would be about 8 out of the 10 spots on this list. Like, genuinely, he's released so many good tracks this year, both motocross and supercross. So I don't even know what to expect for 2024. He changed the game. There's other people that are kind of catching him a little bit in quality, which is good. You know, you love to see that. But yeah, he's influenced a lot. He's created the best tracks ever. He's the GOAT of track making in MX bikes. So if you wanted to know what I think the GOAT is, it's JV. It's not close. The guy's unbelievable. So yeah, this comes in as also my favorite free supercross track that came out this year, and comes out as my number 3 free track. So yeah, 2 more free tracks, then we get into the paid. Yeah, let's move on to number 7, boys. All right, boys, coming in at number 7, my second favorite free track that came out in 2023. Mouse Moto Park. Mouse, another track creator that's kind of came onto the scene here this year, released Poor Boys MX. That was a super fun track. Probably could have put that as an honorable mention as well, to be honest with you, but this one separates itself. This track is extremely flowy. But it has this very good mix of being challenging but also pretty easy. Once you figure the lines out, get a good nice suspension set up on your bike, you can kind of just rail around this thing. I mean, I don't know if there's a track like this where you can really just get on the gas and just rail everywhere. It's got really nice berms. They all hold you very, very well. So, great track by Mouse. The quality's great. You know, I could tell he kind of paid attention to the roughness and everything like that. And the scaling's great as well. There's a lot of nice booters, nice interesting lines right there. You have 2 different options through that corner. Got this nice interesting roller on the inside here. Again, tons of roughness. Kind of reminds me of a Kells track, to be honest with you, which, you know me, I love some Kells tracks, but yeah, great track released by Mouse. He did a great job. Comes as my second favorite free track. Comes in at number 7 overall. Oh, can I get that line? I'm gonna throw an absolute nasty over this. Let me see if I can 360. Can't 360 because this freaking Suzuki weighs 900 pounds. Gah! Okay, anyways, great track. The great track by Mouse. I'll see you guys at number 6. Alright, boys. Coming in number 6, but number 1 on the free track list, we have Fox Raceway 2023 by Kells. Kells, one of the best free track makers in MX bikes history. This track is incredible, okay? I don't care what anybody says. I loved this track. I probably put a good 20 to probably 30 hours of just in-game time on this thing, racing in public lobbies, having some fun. Another one of those tracks, kind of like Mouse Moto Park, where once you learn the lines, you get the flow down, you get a nice setup on the motorcycle, you can pin it around here. Unless you're me and you suck at the video game. But yeah, this track came out in October of this year. I played it a ton, and again, one of those tracks, one of the most downloaded tracks on the mods page this year. Flooded the server list. Everyone was loving it. And again, it can apply to, you know, great players. It can apply to new players. It's not super hard. There's definitely a challenge that comes into play with the roughness and stuff like that, because it is a pretty rough track, but tons of line choice. It's wide. It provides amazing racing. It looks great. I think this is probably, other than Summit that Kells just released, I think this is his best looking track, in my opinion. Looks great. It's bright, great texturing, and just a fun track. I love the roughness. I love the way that Kells does roughness. It's always been something that I mess with. You know what I'm saying? It's always been fire. I'm like struggling to talk because I'm just focusing on running a heater right now. But anyway, great job to Kells. You know, he had a great year as always, gave us a lot of free stuff, and came in with the old Summit wrap up the end of the year. But yeah, I think this is my favorite free track. I mean, look at the schmees, dude. If I could land it. Anyway, amazing track. It's number 1, best free track. I don't care what anyone says. It's goated. let's move on to the top 5 paid. Let's go to number 5. All right, boys, coming in number 5. This one could be controversial because a lot of people were not messing with TFC's tracks this year. And I was one of those people. I was a bit of a hater as well. But I think he did a great job at Unadilla. I think this track's amazing. I think it's super fun. This comes at number 5 for me. And this track was $2, part of the outdoor series that TFC made. As much hate as TFC got, I think there were some tracks that he did a great job on. This one caps it off for me. I love the layout of Unadilla. I think it's one of the best motocross tracks on the circuit just to play. There's not many Unadilla remakes I've played that aren't fun, so yeah, this one's super fun, has good roughness, good line choice. Great track to learn motocross on. So if you're trying to learn, trying to get better, this is definitely one of those tracks you need to get on. But comes at number 5 for me. Didn't think I'd put like a motocross track or supercross track on this list, but when I think back to tracks that I had a ton of fun on this year, this one is definitely one of them. So it only made sense to put it on here. Quality's good. I think TFC kind of struggled a bit. I don't know if he really listened to the community a lot towards the start of the year with these tracks, but I think towards the end he started doing a decent job. I think Crawfordsville was good. I think Budds Creek wasn't a terrible track. This track was good. I also thought Hangtown, the round 2 of the motocross season, I think he did pretty good on that track as well. I don't really know why people didn't like that one, but that was another track I was thinking of maybe putting in this place as well. But yeah, great track from TFC. If you guys have ridden it, you probably agree it's a pretty fun track to ride. But yeah, we get JV this year for outdoors. We'll see how that goes. But hey, I'm still thankful for TFC. I mean, we need someone to make these tracks, so he stepped up. He did it. Whether you like him or not, it is what it is. But yeah, there's a track I have a lot of fun memories on. I raced both the 250 class and 450 class for the Pro Series on this, so got tons of racing in on it. Had a ton of fun. So yeah, this comes in at number 5. You should download this if you want to, learn motocross a little bit more, or you like Unadilla. Yeah, great job, TFC. Let's move on to number 4. All right, boys, number 4, we got Flanders by JV. This right here, not only is it my 4th favorite track of the year, but it's the best sand track ever created in MX bikes. Yes, I said it, okay? That could be a bit controversial because there's been some great sand tracks made. This one, though, is just, it is so fun. So flowy. It's not super hard. The more I've ridden it, I've kind of realized that it's not super hard, but just the way it flows. There's like a million different intricate lines you could come up with through here and have some fun doing. So I think JV did a great job. It's one of those MXGP tracks that I think he added a little bit more attention to. Worked a little bit harder on, which it's a hard one to replicate, man. Sand tracks are the hardest, I think, to make in MX bikes, because there's so much roughness, and to create all this stuff, I mean, you can't just create it and then walk away. Like, you got to really pay attention to the scaling, the flow. Does it work? You need people to test it. So this track for me, super fun. I've had a ton of fun riding it this year. So again, my list, by the way, it's just my opinion. You can disagree, but this track's incredible. I mean, if you're a sand track guy, you're gonna have to pick this thing up. All right, it's $2 on the shop. I think it was round 13 of JV's MXGP season series. That was pretty cool. I only participated in, I think, one of the rounds, which wish I could have done more. I probably definitely will this year if I can. I'm free, but man, JV is just so good at making tracks, and we're gonna see more of JV on this list. Obviously, you probably know what's coming, but yeah, this comes in at number 4 for me. Best sand track of the year. It blows my mind that he made, like, what, 17 rounds of MXGP, something like that. And they're all basically this quality. Like, he never really half-assed any of them. That just, he deserves so much credit for that. And, yeah, I mean, if you want a nice little Lommel remake creation here, then this is the one. Get on this one right here. So freaking fun. So, number 4, Flanders. Lommel, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, JV's the GOAT. What can I say? All right, boys, coming in number 3, we have Club MX Facility by B Clay or BC Creative. This is a track or compound that I didn't see a lot on the server list really at all this year. Even after it came out, I might have seen a couple servers, but other than that, it kind of just went under the radar, I think. I mean, B Clay came from MX Sim. This was his first ever track on MX Bikes. This is the best first track ever in MX Bikes history. No one, I don't think anyone's first track's ever going to do better than what he did here with the facility here, but there's one motocross track, one supercross track, and both of them are a ton of fun. What B Clay does, I think really well, is his ruts are good and his roughness is good. You know, two things he does great, and his supercross tracks too. I love them. I think they're scaled very, very nicely. He, you know, does great with textures. The environment's great. You know, he released some other compounds as well, but for me, this was the best one that he released, and it was the first one. First track? I mean, are you serious right now? Absolutely killed it. Super fun. I think the supercross track is my favorite part. We're here on the motocross track, but supercross track is extremely fun as well. I'll actually go over to that real quick. I think it's over here. Yeah. Just great quality. Very simple. Nothing too crazy, but yeah, it's just a great replica. He did a great job on it. First track. This is $250 on the shop, so pretty good price as well. I mean, you're getting some supercross tracks around $150 and motocross around $2. So honestly, it's kind of like getting $1 off, to be honest. But for a first time out here on MX Bikes, he did a great job. This is a guy we want to keep around. So B Clay, congrats, bro. You did great this year. You released some great stuff. Very, very promising. You, honestly, I think as far as quality, in my eyes, you're almost up there with JV. You're close. Like, you're one of those guys that has pristine quality, pays attention, and is very skillful and talented. So, great job on this. This is my third favorite compound tracks of the year, in my eyes. My third favorite paid as well. Some people may disagree. I don't see a lot of people play this, but for me personally, I got a lot of time out of both these tracks, and I have a ton of fun playing them. So, yeah. Now we're going to move on to the top two, which are both from the same track creator. You can probably guess who. You can probably guess what they're going to be. But, again, B Clay, great job. And let's look at that final two, boy. Number two, guys. I mean, what do I even say? Like, this compound is so good. I can't... Like, when this dropped, I feel like I didn't even deserve it. Like... It is $4, which to some people, this probably sounds like a hefty amount of money, but when you look at the quality of this, and you see how much is here, you have a motocross track, you have a sand track, and then you have two very, very fun supercross tracks, and then you have a go-kart track over here. You could put this freaking compound into Baboso's two other games. He has a go-kart game and GP bikes, and you could still play it. I mean, what other tracks can you say you could do that on? Like, dude, it is just insane. Like, I smiled just looking at it. This comes in at number two. Everyone should already know what number one is if you guys have even paid attention to the tracks that dropped this year. But we got to talk about this first. Not a super hard compound. Even the supercross tracks aren't super hard just because they're scaled down a little bit. It's more of a realistic scaling. I mean, there's a ton of tracks, but for me, the motocross track is where the fun really's been. I mean, you can see the E-Road I've had on here. When I'm trying to test bikes or something like that, I usually just come to this track because you can really push the corners. You can work on E-Road, as you can see. I gotta mess with my Suzuki setup. I'm running a supercross setup right now, so that, you know, that's probably why I'm so buns, but... Yeah, did a great job. It looks great. The environment's cool. You can see, look, this even a sand track. I think a lot of people probably forget about this, but again, another little track where you can work on setup, work on your skills, and then you got your two supercross tracks as well over here. It's just fun. It's a lot of freaking stuff. It's a lot of stuff to take in. It's a lot of practice, and it's just pure quality from JV. Again, the GOAT of MXB track making. Killed it once again. I can't give enough props. You might say in the comments, Troy, you're bouncing on it. I am bouncing on it, okay? Yeah, I'm doing it, okay? This is insane. and I don't even know what else to say. Like, I feel like I can't even fully describe this compound, but he absolutely killed it. This was released before the #1 compound was released, and I thought at this point, when this released, I thought there was nothing that would top it this year, but yes, JV topped it again. And so, without further ado, let's go to the #1 tracks, compound, whatever you want to call it, for 2023 on MX Bikes. Let's look at it, boys. All right, boys, coming at #1, we have, obviously, the Goat Farm. Yeah, again, not much to say here. I think Hunter Bros and the Goat Farm, both of them you could interchange as the two best tracks, compounds, whatever you want to say. I think both of these motocross tracks, even if he just released them as the motocross tracks, I think it'd still be 1 and 2 for me. I love JV's tracks. Absolutely love them. Tons of those MXGP tracks he made as well could have been on this list, but I wanted to give other guys some shout outs because there were some other really great tracks that came out this year. Don't get me wrong. But JV is on a different level. Okay, we all know this. We've all seen it. And for me, the Goat Farm was my favorite creation of his this year. I love the Supercross tracks, but I really love the motocross track. There's so many like intricate lines that you can hit on this. Different variations, the roughness is good. It's not a super hard track, so it's good for testing bikes and stuff like that. But it also provides some challenge as well. But I've also made some TikToks on this. I've done some like Hayden Deegan IRL to MX bike comparison videos that have done really well, like probably millions of views just off those videos. So maybe that adds some bias. You know, this track definitely helped my social media side of things, but either way, it's a great replica. I mean, it literally looks exactly like the real thing. It'd be kind of cool to see like a star guy, like someone that rides for a star and is out here, ride this in MX bikes and like see how close it is to real life, because it looks pretty darn close. And then to my left here, you have another Supercross track that's kind of overgrown because it was released in motocross season. But I like that touch of detail. And then you got another motocross track or Supercross track over here. This was my favorite one. Spun so many laps around here. And then also something that's kind of hidden. I didn't see this for a while after the track released, but there's like a nice single track here, like a turn track that goes through the trees and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure this is also there in real life as well, I'm pretty sure. But it's just another one of those little touches that JV adds that he doesn't even really talk about. He doesn't boast about it or anything. He just lets it be. And you find it and you're like, bro, this is just fun. Like, it's just quality fun. So yeah, JV, I mean, kind of the king of MXB track creating this year. But he's been absolutely killing it. Deserves all the respect, all the kudos. And to everyone that made tracks this year, even if you're not on this list, thank you. All of you deserve respect and all of you deserve thanks, because without you, I wouldn't have very many videos to make, and a lot of people wouldn't have too much fun to be had, because the tracks are a huge part of this game, right? Like, Poboso doesn't make the tracks. You know, we got the default tracks from Pobobis, and then he was done. Bye-bye. He doesn't even work on the game anymore. So we have to rely on track creators to do the heavy lifting, and man, do they do it. So yeah, thank you to everyone that made a track this year. Even if you're not on this list, it doesn't matter, bro. I probably still played your track, probably still had a ton of fun. But these were the people that stand out, and I think they deserve a ton of credit. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully this maybe opened your eyes to some tracks that you didn't know existed, or maybe, you know, made you go back and revisit a track or whatnot. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.